It's over, Connor.
Is it Jova?
It's Jova, the 60th anniversary specials. It's Jova. It's
Wow.
done. Wow, what a roller coaster of 2 weeks.
Yeah, it feels like we waited our whole lives for it and now it's over.
And now it's over. And we're going to dissect the 60th as a whole as next week's episode, like looking back as a more like series review or mini-series review, I guess.
Yeah, mini-series.
But for today, we're focusing on the big finale that just came out.
The Giggle.
The Giggle, mate.
Giggle. Did you get it now, Aiden?
La 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 la.
La 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 la.
Well, I was interested because I saw on Twitter like 2 days ago that like they released a clip and it had the Toy Maker's theme in there. Mm-hmm. That is like or whatever.
The Murray Gold theme.
Yeah, Murray's theme. And it's like that haunting theme for the Toy Maker, but it also is those notes. That's like la 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 la.
Very smart.
And someone could put the dots together just from that. They went
just like Donna.
Yeah, literally. They got the Toy Maker's theme and then got like the notes of the Giggle's laugh, and were like, "Wow, that's so clever that the theme is the same as his laugh."
I wonder if that will connect in any way possible, in any way, shape, or form. I did stay up to watch it. I stayed up till 2:30.
Yep,
and then went to bed.
Notoriously, I had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday,
thanks,
Aiden.
Mate. Just fishing for likes here.
Aiden.
No, so I had a beer Olympics during the day yesterday, so it was pretty smashed. Didn't want to stay up for it because that was a day sesh. So by the time it got to like,
no one blames you.
Yeah, it was like 11 o'clock, and I was like, I'm done. Big time bedtime. I lost beer Olympics, by the way, but that's okay. Oh. Rip England.
By 2 points.
By 2 points? Oh, yeah, it's behind me because I used the whiteboard.
Board.
Yeah.
I can see it on the board. Hey, 2 points, 8 mark.
But we did have a best dressed thing, and we didn't put the points on, and England would have won the best dressed thing.
Best dressed.
So we probably would have won if that included. Anyways, the Giggle. Point being, I didn't stay up for it. Instead, I woke up, got over. I didn't really have too much of a hangover. You tend not to after a day sesh. But it was like a little one. Watch United get slaughtered. Great fun. Love that. And then tidied up at about 9:30 a.m. I sat down with my good friend and we watched The Giggle.
Did you have your coffee and your yogurt?
Didn't have my yogurt. No, I had a Macca's, mate. I just had fat Macca's that time of day. No, you got to do it after a big session like that.
The old hangover cure.
That's it. A bit of sausage, egg McMuffin and a hash brown.
That's fair enough.
Which is what I did before our Star Beast review, actually.
Yeah, right. Yes, that's true. You did. Tradition.
Yeah, so I do think, I don't know, I like taking my time getting to the episode now. It's good. I think Josh made a post on like Instagram or something like that, and they said how nice it was watching the Star Beast and not rushing to watch it before work or something, and how they were up for a couple of hours and then they flicked it on.
It's so nice having it back on Sundays though.
Yeah,
for us. So much.
Because if you want to stay up for it, you can without it ruining your next work day or whatever.
If you want to wake up and watch in the morning, you can. There's no work.
It's good
on Mondays like it used to be.
To be honest, I think it's worse for the UK.
What? Because it's a Saturday night.
Yeah. Like if this was in the UK, I've been busy the last 3 Saturday nights. I would have had to have caught up on all 3 of the episodes.
That's what I mean. Like, it's funny. A lot of the audience are like us, who are kids who like grew up watching it.
Yeah.
And then now are adults.
So we have like lives and things.
Lives, yeah.
But hey, there is kids out there. This is probably a lot of kids' first Doctor Who episodes.
And good on them.
Interesting jumping on point.
Them.
But good for them. All right, let's cut the jib jab. Let's jib jab. The chit chat, the waffle, the yip yappity yappy. We're the 50% Doctor Who podcast. We are going to review The Giggle today. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on TikTok at 50Doctor Who and donate us some money in the Ko-fi below or in the thanks tab. Sound good?
Yes, you mentioned the thanks tab.
I mentioned the thanks tab, baby.
Good boy,
Thank you.
50% podcast.
It's already getting stuffy in here. The heat is like, this room just builds heat and it's
apologies if you can see my horrible eyes.
I can't even tell from here, mate.
That's good.
To be fair, my glasses are quite dirty. So
you get a bit insecure about stuff and you think everyone can see it.
No.
Yeah, they just got a bit manky again, so.
I just don't want people to see me. You guys should be listening to this on audio because...
yeah, you caught the sun a little bit, so have I. I've got the...
I'm just beautiful and pink.
Sunbeam.
No, these pink bits are... They're zinc.
Oh, it's zinc?
It's zinc that I've scrubbed my face, but haven't been able to get it
because I can see it all over your...
In the beard and stuff.
I see.
Yeah. Did you see it? My mate Ryan at all had just full English zinc across his whole body. Interesting one.
Wow.
Okay, The Giggle.
Okay.
The Giggle
gig
is the third of the 60th anniversary specials, first broadcast on the 9th of December 2023.
Happy birthday, Aiden.
Thanks, mate. As part of the 60th anniversary celebrations. The final on-screen appearance of the 14th Doctor and Donna Noble, and the return of the Toy Maker, and the first televised appearance of Shuji Gatwa as the 15th Doctor. You're forgetting about the Adventure in Space and Time re-release. So we've been waiting for this episode for a hot minute. It's the climax of
Giggle.
It's the climax of our lives, right?
Yeah. What a good way of putting it. It did feel like that.
Yeah, don't need to see tomorrow no more.
Nah.
I've had the giggle.
It's done.
Can rest easy now.
I feel like we're bouncing around whether we both liked it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to ask. I'm not sure. Connor.
Yes.
You start us off, baby.
You want me to spit some truth?
Spit some truth. Did you enjoy the giggle? Just a broad overview of your thoughts.
Absolutely did I enjoy it.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I've only watched it once.
Same.
I really want to watch it again. I'll probably watch it when I get home and then again with my family tonight.
Yep.
I certainly did like it. But you know what I'm going to do in the future, Aiden? Stay away from everything that leaks.
Yes.
Because it completely... It took away from the experience for me because I knew everything that was going to happen.
There was no surprises in this episode. Not one.
And that is a bit upsetting.
Yeah.
I know leaks are leaks, but like it really is a big shame that a leak that big came out because it was like all accurate.
I knew I didn't know the little things throughout it. I just knew the one big one, which was the bi-generation.
Yes. Which would have been so cool to see without knowing.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay. Oh, no!
I almost think knowing the leak in advance softened the blow of just how ridiculous of a concept it is. Okay, giggle for me, broadly.
Yeah, we should probably talk about that near the end.
Yes, we'll work our way through, but just broad thoughts for me on the giggle. First 40 minutes or so, I loved it. I'm so on this ride. Me and Fergus, we paused about 35 minutes in because I was just desperate for a piss. And like as in that little break, I was like, I feel like it's going through things so quick, but it doesn't feel rushed. It's got a lot of momentum, a lot of urgency, and it feels high stakes.
This is 35 minutes in?
It's about 35 minutes in, yeah.
Okay.
And then we press play, and there was another good 5 minutes or so. And then, you're on the iconic unit helipad. All the shenanigans go down, and it I think descends into a little bit of nonsense. I'll be blunt. I don't hate it. I'm not. The thing is, I think the Star Beast, I definitely tackled the review with like a little bit too much emotion, and I just took a TV show too seriously. Like I was like, it's a load of shit, what a load of bollocks.
Iconic.
Whereas this, I'm like, it's silly. It's not really the type of TV that I enjoy. But I do unfortunately think that detracts a lot from this episode and the specials as a whole.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit for me? The TV that you like?
Just not afraid to take risks. I think this episode, I think you can easily justify bi-generation as we're taking risks, we're changing mythology, and it's like, you're not taking risks. You don't want to say goodbye to this doctor, so now you've got permanent doctor. There wasn't any massive stakes come the final act. They were playing a game, they were playing catch, and I did not at all feel like the fate of the planet Earth was on this game of catch. I think they ruined the marketing. But the marketing for this episode, I think, did a dirty for this episode by releasing like a 2-minute clip earlier in the week of all the chaos, and then that was the only chaos we actually saw. Because in the last 50 minutes or so, we don't really get a feeling of how the world is descending further and further.
You're meant to feel this emotion when like David's doctor is really sad about everything that happened, and Shooty's hugging him, and you don't really feel that. No, I didn't care. It's like all those people who died, and it's like, did they? I don't see.
I don't see nobody dead.
Oh, the pilot thing was so silly. Oh no!
I want to drive to my house.
It looked so bad. I was like, no.
That was silly. That's silly.
But I guess that's the only people we know who died.
Yeah, we did see that. Let's start at the top though, hey? Yes. Let's work our way through because it really is not all doom and gloom.
How does it start again? Stooky the Dummy. We were right, Aiden.
Like I said, 40 minutes of this episode I really loved, so I would like to talk about that for a bit.
I ain't dissecting shit in the future, man.
No.
Stooky the Dummy, check.
He's there. Well, he was in all the trailers and stuff, so that's sort of fine.
Yeah, but before that, it was like theorized.
I don't
know if you remember.
Not really.
In March. I did like a clip on it. Yeah.
Stooky Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do kind of remember that. Yeah. Anyways, there was... Yeah, it starts with old mate buying the dummy. Do you know what I loved about this scene? I don't know whether I should love this, but obviously, notoriously, the Toymaker is the, I think, only character in Doctor Who ever to drop a racial slur on screen.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he does.
I know he does that.
He says the big bad word.
Yes, I didn't know he was the only one. Yeah, okay.
I kind of love that they were like, they sort of didn't shy away from that. And when he deals with the assistant of the Stooky Bill guy in the first scene of the episode, who is obviously a person of color, I kind of was glad that they didn't try and sugarcoat the fact that, yes, this character was very racist back in classic Doctor Who, and he made that sort of... There was just like some cheeky racist remark that he made. Did you pick up on that?
I'm gonna be honest, no.
No, okay.
But I believe you, and I'm sure it's there.
I'm pretty sure there was one line, because me and my mate Fergus both looked at each other and went, hold on a minute, that's not right.
Would you consider all the accent changes a bit racist?
Not particularly. I think you can...
People say doing accents can be perceived as being stereotypical to a certain country.
It depends if you're taking the piss with it.
Was the Toymaker not taking the piss?
No,
he was changing it every 2 fucking seconds.
Oh, you mean so I thought you meant like Neil Patrick Harris, like the...
No, I mean the Toymaker like doing voices.
Yeah, maybe. No,
that would have been in the script.
I don't think it was like a racist job or anything like that, doing that sort of thing. I think actors are there to perform, and if they have to do a different accent...
I ain't saying I feel that way. I'm just saying I haven't really looked on the discourse on Twitter because I don't really want to.
Yeah, I just put up a tweet like 20 minutes ago.
Bad mood.
I put up a tweet 20 minutes ago being like, what do y'all think about this episode? Because I'm a bit late to it, so I've missed all of the major reactions.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, I like that opening scene. There was some fun vibes about setting up Stooky Bill. Good energy early on. You liked all that opening stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
I think, unfortunately, again, and I guess you can blame me for this, or just blame the marketing. I kind of knew everything that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I knew about Stooky.
Yep.
I knew about the toy shop. I knew he would have been in the past and eventually go 2023.
Yep.
So, but yeah, enjoyable, absolutely. Definitely.
I enjoyed Shania Bottom's direction as we got into the episode, and we got to see all that chaos and Unit picking him up, which was great to see. This is old news. You don't need to spend too much time on it because there was a clip of this whole scene earlier in the week.
I agree. That is annoying that they released that.
Yeah.
It's such a huge piece.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a massive set piece. And,
yeah.
And then they quickly ship off Wilf, which I think was handled fine.
The guy with the doctor.
I don't think there was much more that they could have really done given the circumstances of Bernard Cribben's
I suppose he would have only
passing.
have been in the end scene with the family.
Yeah, I'd assume so, maybe.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they ship him off real quick, and then we're up to Unit, which I was grinning ear to ear in that shot as they tilt up to the Unit tower and the helicopter in. Looked fantastic.
It really did look good.
And the score, it starts with like a little bit of Shepherd's Boy, and then very quickly just has like a few reminiscent notes of Unit's theme, where it's like dun 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 dun.
It did look really good. I'm like, is that where the budget's been hiding?
Yeah,
you cheeky boy. Yeah.
And yeah,
I love the new Unit tower. I like the little space boy.
Oh my god! No. I saw that and I just thought, it's Marvel. It's Jarvis.
Oh, it's Jarvis.
It's Jarvis, and no.
I respect a practical effect.
To be honest, though, so my mate Fergus has not seen much at all since.
Has he seen Star Beast and Wobbly on?
Yeah, he's
okay.
But he's not seen any of Jodie's era, other than like a couple of clips online, and he's only really seen a handful of Peter episodes because I showed him a few recently, and I think he's seen some, if not maybe most, of Matt's era. So he sort of came back because David was back because he loved David as a Doctor.
It worked.
And he, during that first Unit scene, he turned to me and said, I'm so confused. Because it was like, all of a sudden, you've got... you've got Kay, you've got
Melanie, yeah.
And then this robot was what confused him. He was like, I feel like this is a guy that we know, but we don't.
And you're like, no, it's
And I was
not.
like, no, this is just a fucking boy.
This is news to me.
This is... Yeah. I'm like, what? Who is this guy?
Yeah.
And at first I was like, this is a bit cringe. And it is a bit cringe. But as it sort of progressed on, I was like, this is very Russell T Davies Doctor Who in terms of Mr. Smith, I Need You is that sort of vibe. He likes having these quirky characters that are maybe, a little bit more kid-friendly. But I also don't think that this Doctor Who is necessarily for kids. Well, it is for kids, but it's not Sarah Jane, Mr. Smith, I Need You for kids. You know what I mean? It was a bit cringe. What do you think? Yeah, nice, good chat. Good.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, I like what they're doing with this whole unit thing. I think it looks cool. I understand that there's a lot at stake and there's like, you know, big shit going on.
Yeah.
But I can't help but feel, where's the celebration? I guess this one, like, it's like, ooh, we get name drops and we get the cool puppet scene, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, that was probably my favorite scene in the episode. I love that.
But it's like, is that it? Like, was the celebration? And I guess I was like, I need something to really, it's a 6-year special. Give me something that's like, put it this way, watching every single one of the specials, there was never that Gao chair standing ovation moment.
No, the only thing
which I wished it was.
The only thing that really got me was Bernard coming back. But there was no other crazy things. I liked the subtlety of Mel's appearance in this episode. It felt like there wasn't enough time to give her a lot of screen time, but the screen time they did give her, they actually expanded on her character quite a bit and tied her theme and her character work into 14, because she early on was saying how she travelled with Glitz.
I love the Glitz mention. I was like, my boy Glitz.
Tripped over a whiskey bottle and died at 101.
Yep. What a way to go.
But she also then goes on to say, and eventually I returned home because I realised I'd just been running and I needed to actually face what I've been running from.
And I had nothing.
Which is obviously the whole arc for the 14th Doctor, where he's finally going to sit down, have those conversations, hopefully go to fucking therapy.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Doctor in therapy.
Could you imagine that?
That poor therapist.
I loved seeing her return. It did kind of feel like just a bit of a slap on. But it was like, you know, it was really cool to see her.
Yeah.
Granted, I've only seen Mel in Trial of the Time Lords and Dragonfire, I believe. I don't think I've seen anything else.
Yeah, you've not seen any of the ones, no.
There was no carrot juice mention, which sucks.
Right.
No carrot juice mention.
Yep.
I thought it'd be fun at the end when she brought around carrot juice for the Doctor. You know, get the exercise bike out.
Yeah.
You know, thought that'd be funny. No, none of that.
No, sir. We'd already sort of predicted the whole armband stopping the Giggle laughing thing. This is the
We're so smart, man.
No.
How clever are we that we figured it out?
Online people.
They couldn't even keep Mel a secret.
I know.
They put her in the trailers.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that's Mel. And the BBC are like, shh. It's not Mel. It's not her. It's not her. Yes, it is.
I enjoyed seeing Kate like go nuts when they turned her armband off. That was awesome.
I loved seeing Kate again.
We shortly after that get Trinity Wells.
Yes, the anti-vaxxer.
Which I don't know. I thought it was a bit of
anti-armband. I thought
it was a bit of a lame cameo, to be honest. I would have loved it if.
And we also knew about that.
Yeah, that got.
So they told us about that, and it's like, oh. Okay.
Yeah. It was like I wanted to see the classic RTD news.
Yes.
Like it just.
I thought that's what it would be.
It was just like a bit of a gag at the end of the day. I did like the gag of the Prime Minister being like, I don't have to care for you. And Donna's like, nothing changed.
Yeah, that was good. But it also just keeps reminding me that Russell takes every opportunity just to like try and piss you off. It's like, let's piss off people who are like pro-government. Let's piss off people who are like anti-vaxxers. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's do that. And it's like, maybe I'm just trying to watch a TV show.
Yeah, I 100% feel that.
I'm all for putting out the right message, but it just feels like every second it's just like, and I wouldn't mind, but for me it just feels like Russell just trying to piss people off.
I feel like these 3 specials, they tried really hard to push everything that is topical and political all in 3 specials, rather than like naturally telling these stories.
And granted, these people should be made fun of.
Yeah,
but it's also like well, this is supposed to be a 6-year special. Like I have to hear about anti-vaxxers every fucking day. I'm trying to escape. I'm trying to escape the real world. I'm watching a fucking puppet and a toy maker.
I also think sometimes there's an argument out there that people who maybe were anti-vaxxers, things like that, I don't necessarily think that the way to bring them round to it is by, you know, making them look stupid in a TV show. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, let's try and... Which I don't like hate, but I don't think let's piss off everyone that has a different view than us is the way to go.
Yeah, and also, I really like Trinity Wells. Why are they painting her to be this fucking... I'm like, okay, so this character who was really cool is now like this like far right...
Yeah.
Like
we didn't know our political views beforehand.
Why?
Yeah,
I ask?
I don't know.
I don't know. It just takes me out. It's like it was like no surprises, and I was just getting taken out a little bit by stuff like that. Sorry. Yeah. I ain't trying to be a hater.
No, I feel you 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
We've also got. We sort of do the first Toymaker game.
No.
So we find out about the laugh and how that's infecting everyone. Blah blah.
I thought that was smart because that is a theme that is stuck in our heads. Yeah, and I guess the one.
That's like as soon as I saw you today, I was like la 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 la.
Yeah, but it's like even before the episode, like I'm sure you know that tune. I think that's a really smart thing to do, is to take something that we all do. Mm-hmm. Like that's what made Wars of Mars so smart. We all rely on water.
Something that Moffat does really well.
It was very Stephen Moffat-y.
Yeah, something that we all know, like whether it's Wi-Fi or
crumbs,
or memory,
things you use every day.
Wood.
The
wooden guys.
We need wood.
We do.
We'd be done without wood.
We actually would be done. There'd be no way to.
We would be done without wood.
Have sex without wood.
Yes.
Procreate.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get sort of into the first games, and it's sort of like a little bit of.
So they go back in time.
Yeah. We do a bit of cat and mouse, which I thought was really cool.
I like the little chat before though, with the Doctor and Donna. It kind of sets up the ending.
Recognizing me.
And before that, just when they're walking to the toy shop.
Of course.
And then he ignores her, and he's like, whatever, and then like moves on to the toy shop.
I think all that stuff was handled really well.
Yeah.
Like the idea that 14 has to sit back for a little while, I think that's great. That's not where my problems in the episode necessarily lie. It's a few other things, but we'll get there. Mm-hmm. So then we go into the toy shop. Shit go crazy. They run through walls,
Who has the balls?
That was funny. That was funny.
He's throwing balls, but then he's still doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
It was cool. I loved it. Love them CGI balls. Good
old CGI balls, yeah. I like all the doors. That was cool.
The doors, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love that scene. I said to Fergus, I was like, I bet this was a bitch to film because they probably had one corridor.
Yeah.
And they just have to keep filming them coming in and keeping track of where.
I respect it, yeah, definitely.
Crazy.
I was expecting to see some more things, like...
Matt Smith.
Nah, I gave up on that.
I was sort of...
My dreams were crushed fucking weeks ago, don't worry.
No, as David was going into some rooms, I was like, surely this is a Matt Smith room. Because we were just about to have the whole references to the past.
What a fool we were.
The dummy of the guy that bought the dummy was fine. When it becomes David, that was funny. Just a laugh. Yeah, it's a bit of an eye roll, but it's a laugh.
My eyes roll to the back of my head to see my own brain.
But I love Donna's room. That little fucking stooky girl.
Yeah, but what was the point of it?
I don't care. It was great. Me and Fergus, but this is what I love about watching something with someone when you both have the same reaction. We both went like, oh, what are they doing? And it's like this creepy little girl coming out of the shadows. Spooky. And then she like starts jumping onto Donna. There's the baby ones coming down.
Yeah.
And both of us said, this is like hilarious but terrifying at the same time. And Donna's like smacking. That's so Donna. Then break it then. Do. Is that kind of thing.
I just found the scene unnecessary. What did it do? Like, I like it.
Not a lot.
But like, why? It just, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Whatevs.
I don't know. I just didn't think it was... What purpose did it serve other than to be a creepy
Just a bit more of like spooky games from the Toymaker.
It was quite Scooby-Doo-y.
Because the rest of his spooky games aren't really all that good, I don't think, to be honest. But so then we sit down and we have a little D&M time. Oh, we were in stitches in that scene. And where he's like, Amy Pond.
I like that.
And the Doctor loved Amy Pond. And then she died.
Yep.
But the bit that made us laugh was he kept going, well, that's okay then.
Yeah.
And then every time he'd go, well, that's okay then.
Yeah, he changes to American accent.
Yeah. No, but just like the way he got like more and more like just taking the piss out of the Doctor, because the Doctor kept trying to reason like, oh, these deaths aren't actually that bad.
Yeah.
It's okay. And like the last one where... the Doctor's like, no, but Bill went off and traveled the stars as a piece of water or whatever. Well, that's okay then.
Yeah.
Me and Fergus are just crying, but also we're like, man, Doc's had a pretty bad run with companions. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
That's the Moffat way, though, right? He'd just kill off everyone, but then also make it so they didn't actually die, but they sort of did die.
Yeah, she got killed by a bird.
That was funny.
Yeah, I'm like, what a good old face.
Well, that's okay then.
Yeah, that was good. Cool. I guess that's like it. It did all the mentions were kind of just like name drops. It was just like, River Song, Adric, Sarah Jane, Clara, Bill, Amy.
Yeah.
It's like, I know all these characters. It's like, is that it?
Can we fucking see them, please?
We did. We saw them in doll form.
We did see doll form.
They were cool dolls.
Yeah.
Oh, the Flux gets mentioned as well, all the planets.
Of course, the Flux.
Yes.
Yes.
Can't escape that bitch.
It's always following us, mate.
It kind of is.
Yeah. Never leaving.
Let's go to 2023.
We've also got the Master in his teeth.
Oh, stop it. Oh, just stop it. Stop it. I do not want to see the Master again. And I fucking knew it was going to come back. And then at the end, someone grabs the tooth. This is literally like the Ring.
Most of the time. I think that's the point.
This is what Russell did last time.
I think that's the point, though.
I don't want to see the Master again.
Would you...
Wait till I tell the boss with 2 hearts. It's like, I kind of had a feeling it would be the fucking Master. Here we go again.
Would you be mad? Would you be... Oh, I never connected those dots, but yeah. Well, would you be mad if the Master, though, that we get, because it's probably from that tooth, which has all of the Master's souls trapped inside or whatever, would you be mad if the Master that we get, though, is like John Sim or Michelle Gomez or Sacha Dhawan? Would you be okay if it's maybe a past Master? You know, rather than... Because I don't really want to see a new Master. We've got 3 perfectly good. 4 if you include Derek Jacobi.
Yeah.
Even Old Mate, who plays in the TV movie, he's still kicking. I could think he could be a cool one. The Terminator.
Literally.
Would you be mad if it's one of those faces? Or do you just don't want to see the character?
I don't want to see the character.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just sick of it.
Fair.
There's so much more to do.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, we had it all with Missy.
I enjoyed the Master.
Me too, but like, you can't have too much of a good thing. Like, and then they instantly bring back the Master for Jodie Zero with Sasha, and now it's like the first chance we get, we're bringing them back again. I could have cried when I saw it last night. I was like, "Don't you dare do that to me again!"
It feels good to have had no Daleks or anything recently. I know it's only been a year and 3 episodes, but. Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, I feel like Destination Scar was just a way to show them because they don't want to show him in the main show for a while.
Yeah,
I just said show a lot then.
You show. The show must go on.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. I think next up, what we have to talk about is the dance sequence.
Everybody and a girl, spice up your life. And a girl, spice up your life. And a girl, spice up your life.
I feel like it was sort of Russell T Davies watched the Rasputin scene and went, "Hold my beer." I loved it. I was in stitches. Other than when Mel went spinny, that was a bit lame. But the rest of it was really cool. Like,
did you like the ball with the head in it?
I was in stitches. I love that. It was fun. I love... Like, Doctor Who can get silly. And sometimes it's like, come on, don't do that. But then sometimes they get it right. It's such a hard line to balance. And I think this sequence was the Doctor Who, the silly Doctor Who that I love.
I think on a rewatch, that scene will sit a lot better with me.
Why
not that I disliked it.
Okay.
No, I liked it. I yeah.
Cool.
I don't know.
You don't like your big musical numbers, so you're obviously going to hate, obviously, the Goblin song.
I have nothing wrong with a big musical number.
Okay.
If it's done well.
Okay. I think this is done really well.
I can't decide whether you should
it's very
live or
that.
die.
It's so
exactly.
Russell T Davies.
Here come the drums, here come the drums. Baby, baby, baby. Woo-hoo. Isn't that Spice Girls as well?
No.
I think it is.
Isn't that...
Girls Aloud, whatever.
It's one of them British girl bands.
It's a British girl band.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked all the pedals. I like the fire and the pedals.
It's fun. Yeah.
I like Kate not listening to the Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just having everyone die around her because of her shitty instructions to. It's like they're firing pedals and then like they die and then a whole new bunch of units will just come and go, oh, maybe it'll be different for us.
Yeah, I know.
And then fire and the same thing happens.
I was like, why are they still
die?
But it's funny.
No.
I thought Shania Bottom really did a great job directing this episode, and I think this is another sequence where she just really got to flex her directing muscles and have fun.
Very fun.
Seeing Kate and the toy maker dance, hilarious.
And he just like froze her and she's like, doing.
Never thought I'd see that kind of thing in my life, but it was great to see.
It was fun. It was really fun.
A lot of fun. From there, is that pretty much straight out to the helipad?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Where things get a little bit...
dicey.
So we've obviously got the beam, which we hadn't really spoken about. It had to take down a satellite that was transmitting.
It's a big bad boy beam that beams people.
Classic, right? Obviously, the toy maker hijacks this beam.
No.
Is that shooting at the feet of the unit soldiers?
Dance monkey.
And then who does he decide to shoot, of course?
Don't say it.
I don't want to scare you, mate.
No, don't.
I don't want to say it.
No, who?
The 14th Doctor.
No!
And it's sort of
Is he okay?
It's this really lame, like...
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's even before, it's just like...
I know. It's just,
I guess a beam keeps you hanging.
I guess, but then
air.
Shouldn't he have fallen backwards rather than move forward?
Yes.
I think that is maybe how gravity works.
Mavity.
Sorry, Mavity. Where did I get gravity from? Yes.
I felt no...
Did not give a fuck.
I was like, oh, okay.
Well, the thing is, immediately, my mind gets split. Whenever they pull this kind of thing and they do like a fake out regeneration, you can always tell it's a fake out, right? One, because it does not play out with the dramatic tension and just the length that a normal regeneration would take. It's moving so quick. And two, it was like, there's 20 minutes left of the episode. You sort of knew they had something up their sleeve. But so I'm in two minds. I'm either thinking that, I'm like, this is obviously fake regeneration, but then there's the other half of my brain that's going, if this is the real regeneration, this is shit.
Right.
So I'm sort of bouncing between the two minds as it's happening. And then he does the bio-regeneration.
Alonzi.
And it's...
Pull this. It feels different this time. Pull. Aiden, your thoughts?
I just don't... Why?
I'll tell you why.
Why did it happen?
Because David Tennant is the most popular Doctor, and they didn't want to let him go. And he will pop up here and there. And it does take away from... It just sucks, because I feel like I didn't feel any emotion. I'm like, where are the stakes now of, like, where's the goodbye Doctor final, like, cry moment?
Yeah.
Is this going to happen now with every... Will Shooty regenerate and then still be hanging around? Or is this just like a weird thing that happened?
The other thing, by the way, whilst we're at this point in this episode, Donna disappears. Well, she doesn't disappear. She's there, asks a couple of questions from time to time. But for the last 30 minutes of this episode, felt like a bit of a shame for Catherine Tate's last episode. She did get one really great scene right at the end of the TARDIS, which I thought was beautiful. But there is a good 20 minutes of this episode where she doesn't do an awful lot, and I'm just kind of like, that's it. Like when she rocks up and starts having that big monologue to the Doctor at the end, I thought, oh, Catherine Tate's in this,
right?
So I thought that was a shame. Bioregeneration, I'm just so neutral, man. This was when these specials genuinely solidified for me as a little bit of fan fiction. Nothing to take too seriously. Nothing I'm going to be rushing back to watch anytime soon or show my friends. It's just a bit of fun.
Why though? I don't really get it.
Like why it happened by regeneration?
Yeah, I don't really...
Not a clue, mate.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I thought it was pretty funny, but like, just seeing Shooty run around in his underpants... It was just a funny look. I was like, what the hell?
He's got good legs.
He does. He's hot as hell.
I thought it was funny. I did think at some point, like when he goes into the TARDIS, maybe we should have given his costume a bit of a look or something like that. And
it was kind of interesting, to put it lightly.
Yeah. And I thought at some point, someone should have gone, will someone get this man some trousers,
please?
Yeah.
Get it.
I thought that's like an easy joke that would have been funny. And
I don't mean this. Again, this is only my first watch. I mean, thank God we'll come back in a couple of days and give our updated thoughts. And I'm sure on a live stream I'll give my updated thoughts. But from what I'm taking right now from my only watch last night, this is not Shooty's fault at all. I didn't feel like I kind of just didn't... Maybe this is just me, and I hope it's just me. But I didn't really feel like a new Doctor was there.
No.
Because David was still there.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
It was just weird, man.
I didn't feel like it was a new arrival.
Yeah.
Is that just me? Am I crazy?
No, I felt like the last 20 minutes was just like a Children Need sketch.
It didn't feel exciting and new and a new adventure. It just felt like David Tennant was still here. And I'm like, where am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to be caring about David still being here or literally the new Doctor who is on the screen right now. And for some reason, I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
But regeneration, like I said, it doesn't like I don't hate it. I don't like it. I think it's cheap, which is a word I've used a lot in these specials. I think it's cheap.
Just don't get rid of David Tennant. He brings in the fans.
But the thing is, for me, what really didn't work for me in this climax was that the ending of the Toymaker, the ending of the plot, was a game of catch.
It felt so
anticlimactic.
Yeah,
which is such a shame. I was thinking about this when I had a shower after the episode, right, where I have my best thoughts.
We all do. I love it.
Since Russell and Murray were teased to come back with David, both of us have been saying we can't wait for that moment that David starts running and it goes dun 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 dun. I know this is a little fan servicey to do that kind of thing, but I do think these specials are kind of weird in the way that they are so a homage to that era, and they're so just bringing back that cast and that sort of thing, but they also feel like they're trying a little bit too hard to be like, no, but that's not what we're doing. We're trying to be new. And so they're not giving us massive stings of tune. Well, we're getting stings of old themes, but we're not hearing a lot of old stuff. It's just like the odd, like, dun 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 dun. There's no like big, oh, that's Donna's theme. You know, it's just like a little soul thing here or there. And I do think that these specials should have just gone balls to the wall with it and been like,
no, I totally
these
agree.
are the RTD era specials.
Because now we got Shooty's series coming up and it's not going to be in there.
Yeah, exactly. So it just, whether or not, I'm not saying past Doctors, I'm not saying that kind of thing would have been great, but I just think you should have just given it, like, I don't know why they tried so hard to make this not a homage to their era, because it clearly is, but they tried to do a lot of things to be like, but we're not.
Well, it's one foot in the door.
It's a lot of feet, mate.
It's like, it feels like they're going for it, but they're also like, no, we're not. Mm-hmm. But also on the other side, we're also keeping David Tennant to bring him back.
Yeah,
whenever we want, folks.
But so my point connecting that to this climax of the episode is there just wasn't a moment of like, all right, so we've got to reverse the polarity of the neutron throw, not that line, but neutron flow, not that line, but there wasn't that moment of everything coming together. This is how we're going to defeat the Toymaker, and that there could have been like a cool moment, classic running around, David, Shooty working together. Dun 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 dun.
I know they make a joke out of it and then just continue to do it, but why were both Doctors throwing impossibly hard balls at each other to catch?
Yeah.
Because sure, if they're on the team, you do that. Yeah. No, they're fucking throwing it through their legs. They're throwing it in the air. They're bouncing it off a wall.
It just is
Why? The fate of the universe is here. Isn't that the whole point of the episode? Is that the whole universe is gonna end if they drop the ball?
And I think sometimes we're always big ambassadors for, you don't need these massive stakes. You don't need crazy gunfire finales and stuff. But the way this episode starts compared to the way this episode ends, so anticlimactic. I feel like if you start an episode with big, bombastic, cool set pieces and you end it with a game of catch, for me, it's just like the stakes just slowly lower and lower and lower throughout the episode.
And then it became Flat Stanley.
Flat Stanley, mate. Flat Stanley. That was... it kind of sucked for Neil Patrick Harris because I thought he was a really great villain. But I just had a game of catch.
I think the Toymaker was a big waste of a wasted opportunity.
Could have been a good series arc. Have him somehow involved in 1 and 2. It really could have, and then have a big one for him in 3.
And so the reason David's face came back is because the Doctor's burnt out.
He's on burnout, mate.
He's burnt out.
He's in burnout mode.
That's why he's back.
That's why he's back, baby.
Because he's burnt out.
I don't hate that because we know that there's, for example, it's established that Capaldi's face came back as of, because of the Callius. What's he called in?
Calculus.
Calculus in the Fires of Pompeii. It was established that phase came as a reminder to be kind and save people. I think it's been a while since I've seen that episode.
Yeah.
But I don't mind that that's why the regeneration phase came back, because it's established that sometimes regeneration kind of gives the Doctor what he needs without him even asking for it himself. it's just like, why did we have to bi-generate? I also love that it's sort of like a nice moment where the 10th Doctor's like, I don't want to go. And now it's sort of like, yeah, he shouldn't go. He needs to sit and deal with these problems. That's great. Did we need to bi-generate to get here? No.
Sorry.
One last thought with that. Why does he need his own TARDIS?
No,
the whole point is to sit him down, and I know the Doctor would never sit down. That's why we have to have a Shooty going off in the world. That's why he needs his own TARDIS, the 14th Doctor. But it's like, well, that's the point, right? It's you got to strip all that stuff away and get him to sit in a room, talk with a therapist. He can go to bloody Thorpe Park if he wants a wild adventure. Just sit down and be normal be human for a couple years.
So can David regenerate now?
This is what drives me nuts a little bit with this whole bi-generation thing. It's one thing to just do it, but there's so many questions that then come with it because they don't explain how it happens, why it happened. What are the consequences? What happens to 14?
Will it happen again?
Does he grow old? Does he have to eventually combine back with the 15th Doctor and become one?
Yeah.
I don't understand, because Shooty then says, I'm good because you took the time to go and do therapy or whatever,
Uh-huh.
And so, but how, if they are now separate beings, how can 15 be already good if 14 hasn't
even started that journey
doing that journey yet? It doesn't, and they make a line with like, we're doing therapy but time travel or something like that.
Do you think this almost confirms that we'll see David come back with Shooty? Like maybe even see an episode with Shooty, Millie, David and Catherine?
Maybe. It's clear that they don't want to let these guys go, which I think is a big shame. I don't mind the odd appearance, especially with 14. I do actually want to see more of 14. I've enjoyed him as a Doctor. But I hope it's not for a while. I hope at least we get series 14 and 15 without seeing David come back.
Could you see him be in the spin-off?
Yes. I wouldn't mind if we got a unit spin-off where it's, Shirley, Kate, Mel, a couple new characters. And then it's like in the finale when the stakes get huge, that they sort of have to call up and be like, we've got to bring him in. And they bring in...
So he's like the guardian of Earth almost.
Well, he also can't be, because the whole point is that he shouldn't be dealing with that stuff and needs to deal with himself and sit down for a second.
And also we know there's Earth stories in Shooty's era. So it's like, well, it's like, I'll come back and do it then.
Hope I
don't bump into myself in the shops. That'd be awkward.
The one thing...
David, how are you? Good.
The one...
It's like bumping into... Oh, hi, how you been? Oh, I've been in therapy, been doing well.
Yeah, they're both trying to save Earth at one point, and they run into the room at the same time.
I knew you'd be.
You beat me to it. I've got the big red button.
I thought you were retiring.
I knew you were going to press
that. Well, here and there, I like to get involved.
I'm freelance.
That's not what we agreed on. It's so silly. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Why?
The one thing that I think works in terms of launching season 1 of Doctor Who next year, or with the Christmas special, is that we now won't have a Shooty that is constantly referencing past companions. We can have a fresh Doctor because all that stuff has been dealt with by 14. That's what he's dealing with now off screen. But the other thing is, those things that have made up the Doctor in the past are what make up his flaws as a character. And we know the reason that we all gravitated towards 9 was because he was the weight of the loss of Gallifrey, that PTSD.
Yes.
10 was dealt with that a lot. By the end of his era, think of how many people have died. Blah, 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 blah. And so 15, and I think they'll do this, it's basic storytelling 101. They do have to come up with a flaw for 15. And I think if he still has the same flaws, it sort of becomes a question of, well, then why did you have to send 14 off to do that if you're still going to have the same flaws that the Doctor's had for the last few regenerations?
Yeah. I thought the bi-regeneration is not how I thought it would look visually. I thought it was going to be...
It was a little children in need, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought the split It reminds me of like those. You remember like Cam Wow on your phone? You could like do that thing where
it did. It looked exactly like that.
Yeah, and it just looked silly.
It looked very silly,
dumb, and I felt like, you know, two things. I think like it was all the references were just cheap. Like we'll mention the adipose, and mention Davros, mention blah blah blah.
Other than the toy thing, I like the toy thing.
The toy thing was cool.
Yep. But outside of that,
it's just like let's mention. It's like, oh yeah, Sarah Jane has died in canon, and you haven't even had a second to think about it yet. It's like, oh, this could have been like a really emotional scene, but it's just like a throwaway line.
Yeah.
Just for like nostalgia aspect of like, they mentioned Sarah Jane. It's like, oh, okay, Adra gets mentioned. Cool.
We did that last year.
Yes, and it worked so much better.
It really did.
Worked so much better.
It felt like a cheap copy of that, didn't it?
And it worked brilliantly in Tales of the TARDIS.
Yeah, it did.
So how come when we're getting the main show now in the 60th, it's bad? I don't know. I've only watched it once. I don't want to be Star Beast review.
Not at all. And
I just don't really understand a lot of the things they chose to do. And I don't think I ever will.
I loved the first 40 minutes. It's just this last 20. The bioregeneration as a concept is harmless, but I do think outside of that, like we said, the toy maker being like so anticlimactic at the end there, all that sort of thing just was a shame, because I think they had to spend too much time doing the biogeneration to actually do a proper finale for this episode.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like, oh, the toy maker's still here?
Yeah.
But just get rid of him.
Yeah.
Here comes Flat Stanley.
I also kept thinking, as they were playing catch, how 14 is just commando that whole time, because Shooty's got the underwear on.
It's just interesting.
And 14's got no shoes on as well.
I just remember how excited I was when, you know, and how sad I was when Dave regenerated into Matt, and just having that shot of Matt being like, it goes dun 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 dun, dun, and it's like the spinning shot.
Yeah,
I didn't feel any of that with Shooty leaving. No. I'm like, I should feel so excited. And I'm not blaming Shooty at all. I think it was 110% the script.
Yeah,
I didn't feel excited for his next adventure. Like, he is a new Doctor running off in the TARDIS. What the hell awaits next?
Yeah,
and I didn't feel much.
For me, this...
Hopefully on rewatch, I don't want to sound like a hater. You know, I don't want to be like that.
This trilogy, for me, and you probably might have differing opinions on this because you feel differently about this analogy I'm going to make here, but definitely was Star Wars sequel trilogy energy to me, where Star Beast and Force Awakens, sort of harmless fun, treading very familiar ground that we've done before, but harmless fun. Although I think Force Awakens is probably better than the Star Beast. And then you have The Last Jedi versus Wobbly Yonder, which I know you're not huge on Last Jedi, but for me, I love Last Jedi. It's sort of the only thing I really... it's the only one I really love out of that trilogy and out of most of Disney Star Wars. It's like that, Andor and Rogue One is the things that I like. The rest of it is borderline terrible. And then you get Rise of Skywalker, and I feel like this is not as bad as The Rise of Skywalker, but as The Rise of Skywalker ends, I felt as I did as this ended, where it's like just some cheap tricks.
Oh, tricks.
And you know, at the end, Rey's like, "I'm Rey Skywalker." This felt like we were this close to having David go, "I'm the Doctor Noble. I've got a family here now." I could see it. I thought, as much as I could praise Shania Button's direction throughout the episode, I thought that garden scene, I felt like I was watching Better Homes and Gardens. I thought it was like shot so boringly, and it had the flattest daylight lighting. Maybe that's all they could fit in the schedule, shooting it in broad daylight, but I thought it looked ugly. Just the colours and just the lighting on faces was flat.
I know last week was great. And by the way, unfortunately, it proves my horrible theory that, you know, Wobbly Yonder's the only one I'm really going to look back on and go, wow.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely so much smarter than this. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I hope we get the good stuff for Shooty's Era, though, and I am very hopeful for Shooty's Era.
Okay, this is my issue. How many more times are we going to be like... So what if Churchill re-rose and go, oh, we'll wait for season 4.
That's where it all starts. That's the true beginning.
15, it'll be good.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll have 15.
Don't worry, in 16, David will come back. I'm telling you, Aiden.
It'll be good.
He'll be there.
Yeah, maybe Matt will be there too.
Matt Smith as well. Oh, could you imagine? Like, it's like... I think if I could give the specials one word, I would say underwhelming.
Yeah. Can I give it 2 words?
Go ahead.
Nothing burger.
Ooh, a nothing burger.
We'll dive into that stuff next week, though.
Nothing burger.
Nothing burger.
Ooh.
Well, it's just you just have a bite and you're like, well,
I mean, it's all right.
That's all right. Just gonna go to the waistline.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is a shame.
There's so much fucking hype leading up to this.
I did really enjoy the first half of this episode. I know we're ending on a bit of a negative for it.
I need a rewatch.
And
you're getting Al fresh out of the oven. We're still hot. The cookies are really gooey still. You know, we're just coming out of it. I by no means hated it at all.
No, and that's the thing. It's similar to the Starbies, where the reason it's difficult is because the most important parts of the episode is where it went wrong for me. The Dr. Donna stuff in the Starbies handled, in my opinion, really badly. And then you've also then got this regeneration stuff and just the climax of it. I don't think it's handled really badly, but I think it's handled pretty poorly.
It wasn't handled great, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I hate how excited I was for Shooty, and now I'm just like, I just wish I felt more excited about him running around the TARDIS, pulling all the levers, getting ready to go on this big adventure. And I felt nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know everyone's going to say, oh, you shouldn't have stayed up, but it's like, hey, I'm a fan, and I wanted to stay up because I was excited.
You know what?
Why else would I stay up to 2:30 a.m. to watch something unless I wasn't excited?
We've talked about a lot of references this episode, Connor. Adipose, companion dolls,
Davros,
Mel.
Yes.
But the ultimate one was a reference to how Stephen Moffat likes to end his episodes. The Doctor in the TARDIS, the music is swelling, and all of a sudden, destination Christmas. Oh my god! Why are we using? Why?
I hated the today thing as well. It was like, we're not idiots. We fucking know it's today. Why? That sounds like some exec coming from like, the audience will be confused if we've just shown the past and then it jumps to the future. It's like, well, there are fucking cars driving on the street. There's helicopters in the sky. Do you really think people are going to be that confused of what year we're in?
I just feel like we've got Shooty's theme going on. Dun, 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 dun,
that was cool.
Dun, 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 dun.
Smacks the TARDIS and suddenly it can just pop out a new one. Can it? Apparently. I didn't know it could do that.
That's what that lever. He's always had that lever, that mallet there for that reason.
What?
To smack.
How?
Destination Christmas. I hated that so much. It's so cringy when
I'll tell you how you can fix that. Put a fucking next time trailer at the end and you can tell when it's coming back.
Well, even if they just like had him pulling the TARDIS, his theme's going, and then just Doctor Who will return at Christmas. And then just
let's put Destination Christmas. Where does the jukebox just come from nowhere?
He did say.
Well, it was.
I think David walked in and went, "Oh, it's jukebox. Oh, you got jukebox. Nice."
So that's it. It's just there.
Yeah. We'll find out at Destination
Sorry for
Christmas.
wanting an actual reason for it just arriving. Do you like how he says... Sorry. Do you like how he says you needed a chair? I thought about you when I heard that. I was like, oh, Aiden listened to you.
I turned to Fergus and I said, that's what I've been saying!
Yeah, I was like, that's Aiden coming through the screen right now.
Was there a chair when Shooty got his TARDIS?
No. He'll add it.
All right.
We'll go to IKEA with Ruby.
Just get fold-out chairs.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Okay, we'll wrap up in a second, Connor. But very quick, was there a standout for you in this episode?
I don't know. Probably, I like the doll scene a lot with all the old companions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
A standout.
Maybe a standout performance or
standout performance.
Or writing or directing or...
why don't you go first? The fact I had to think is not a good sign.
I want to give it to Chanya Button. I thought she did a really good job directing.
I'll do that.
I thought it was a solid direction. As much as we had the whole Better Homes and Gardens scene at the end there, I still think the rest of it was really good.
By the way, one thing that really took me out of the episode is, I don't know if you noticed, but in the beginning of Star Beast, when they do the Once Upon a Time Lord thing, there's a shot of Rose, of Yasmin Finney, laughing.
Yep.
And I was like, where's that from? Mm-hmm. It was from this episode. Yep. That's weird because she's wearing the skirt and stuff. And I was like, oh, brother. Could you not have found something else?
In that Star Beast opening, I remember seeing that shot and thinking, wow, that looked corporate. And it was such like it did not blend with these atmospheric shots of Donna. And
the audience would be confused if we don't show the daughter.
That's the thing. It's obviously they just quickly pulled that because this was a Disney rewrite. But... yeah, as soon as I saw this corporate setting, this not setting, but the way it was filmed, I just thought, well, that's exactly where they got this shot from, wasn't it? And then Yasmin rocks up. And I was like, yeah, there we go. Not Yasmin Khan. Yasmin Finney. No Yaz.
Oh, great.
All right, Connor. Can you give the Giggle a rating out of 10 for me, please?
I think we'll see if it changes in a couple of days, but right now I'm thinking a 7.
Yeah,
which I hate to say.
I'm giving it a 7 as well, which is the same as my Starbeast score, and I do think 7s for both those episodes are quite generous. But I'll give you a fist bump. Won't leave you hanging in the high five like I did last week.
Me sad. Special's over.
So I gave Starbeast a 7, while Blue Yonder an 8.5, and the Giggle a 7. You gave the Starbeast an 8, while Blue Yonder an 8.5, and the Giggle a 7. Do you sort of stand by those still?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay, that's good. That's good.
I'm upset that this is the lowest rated one. But I would say I would say I did enjoy the Starbeast more.
Yeah, I do.
We shouldn't be saying this.
It's weird. I don't know. We shouldn't be reviewing these episodes, man. We shit it.
What? No.
We change our opinions. We're too raw with them.
Well, don't do what you did then.
So my average score...
Don't write them like that then.
My average score is a 7.5. And your average score... 8.5. Just talk for a second, Connor.
I would assume... I would agree with a score that's, I would say, just average.
Yours is 7.56.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll sit with that.
Which I think is quite generous for these episodes, but... Like both of our scores, I think, are a bit generous to them, but they are fun. And
I can't believe this is how it turned out. Though, like, you couldn't have told me this in the on Christmas. Remember on Christmas Day we got the full trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've seen them all.
R.I.P. R.I.P. All right, guys.
They did a great job at marketing these things.
Thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll be back next week to do a full review of the 60th anniversary specials. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor. Subscribe if you haven't already. Connor, we have 15 seconds left to roll in the camera.
It's Aiden and Connor's podcast. They're doing Doctor Who reviews. Doing Doctor Who reviews. Hey.
R.I.P. Doctor Who.
You got it.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.